Hello and welcome, this is Ameco and you're watching our daily updates live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. I'm Gaila Damu, stay tuned. National Disaster Risk Management Commission announced that Government of Ethiopia, in cooperation with international donors, has been distributing humanitarian aid to 6.6 million people. Brown Wismau has more on it.
National Disaster Risk Management Commission Public Relations and Communication Representative Atalel Abuhai told Ina that assistance, both in cash and in kind, have been consolidated to the victims of man-made and natural disasters. Atalel said that food and non-food items as well as cash have been distributed in 6 months of the fiscal year. Accordingly, over 894,000 quintals of grain and 540.5 million birr cash have been given to the needy. In the first and second rounds alone, the Commission extended assistance to 7.3 million citizens and to 6.5 million people in the third round. In total, 15.2 billion birr worth support has been distributed in kind and cash. It was learned that the humanitarian aid was provided to inhabitants affected by natural and man-made disasters in Afar, Tigray and Amhara regions. The representative further said the government of Ethiopia provided 894,302 quintals of grain from reserve food warehouse to fill the gap created by donor organizations. Ataler noted that international donor organizations that had stopped providing aid have been persuaded to continue their support through diplomatic engagement. As a result, the organizations have provided 400,000 quintals aid, which covered 30% of the assistance in the third round. Atalel further stated that the Commission, in collaboration with donor organizations, has continued providing assistance for 6.6 million people in the ongoing fourth round.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that the third phase of repatriation of 70,000 Ethiopians from Saudi Arabia will begin in 2 weeks. State Minister Ambassador Burtukan stated that while the National Committee chaired by herself advised on the plan to return citizens in difficult situations in Saudi Arabia. Ambassador Burtukan also said that the work of repatriating citizens to their country requires the joint coordination of federal institutions and regional states included in the National Committee. Ambassador Burtukan reminded the stakeholders that the necessary budget, logistics and shelters should be prepared for the returnees when they arrive in Addis Ababa for the repatriation of citizens to be successful. The Director General of Refugees and Returnees, Taiba Hassan, on her part stated that the relevant institutions and regional states should pay special attention to the work of returning our citizens who are in difficult situations. According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the members of the National Committee confirmed that they will make the necessary arrangements to complete the plan on time. The second phase of the Prospects Partnership Program has been launched. The project aimed to strengthen the resilience, self-reliance, and inclusion of forcibly displaced persons as well as host communities in Ethiopia. Burhan Workana has the details.
I'm very proud that Prospects in Ethiopia will continue its programming for 4 more years in Addis Ababa, Afar, Amhara, and Somali region.
The government of Netherlands, along with Ethiopia's Refugees and Returnees Service, line ministers, humanitarian and development agencies announced the launching. Speaking about the accomplishments of the first phase of the program, Netherlands Ambassador to Ethiopia, Henk Jan Baker, underscored the program's transformative potential. According to Jan, more than 20,000 out-of-school children and young people gained access to learning opportunities through accelerated learning and skills development programs. Also, 20,000 jobs were created, child protection services enhanced for 60,000 minors, and birth certificates issued to 26,000 children. In this phase, backed by €800 million in Dutch funding across 8 countries, Prospectus aims to equip youth with job-ready skills, catalyze economic opportunities, fortify child protection systems, and improve access to vital services and infrastructures. Lauding Ethiopia's refugee-friendly policies and integration efforts, the ambassador emphasized Prospectus' core mission of investing in the potential of all individuals, irrespective of their status as refugees, internally displaced persons, or host community members.
Now, Prospects 1 in Ethiopia has achieved a number of those goals. You will have heard them in my speech. 20,000 jobs were created for refugees and host communities. 60,000 children were supported with mental health and other forms of social protection. And there are other examples as well. You will find them in my speech. It was successful enough, and we do it not only in Ethiopia, we do it in 7 other countries. We were happy enough with the results to launch phase 2 here today, and so we are going to continue for another 4 years with this program also in Ethiopia, continuing to focus on refugees, internally displaced persons and the host communities.
For the ambassador, collaboration remains pivotal to ensuring a meaningful impact, necessitating continued cooperation between donors, implementing partners and the Ethiopian government. Refugees and Returning Service Director General Taiba Hassan, on her part, reaffirmed Ethiopia's commitment to the Global Compact on Refugees. Refugees and Returning Service Director General further added the need for clearly defined roles, robust communication and stronger RRS partner cooperation to address gaps identified in the first phase of the project. As the expanded Prospectus partnership takes flight, Ethiopia takes a significant stride towards empowering refugees, IDPs and host communities, fostering self-reliance and paving the way for a more prosperous future for all. The Director General further underscored the urgency of bolstering support for host nations and refugees amid a burgeoning forced displacement crisis.
As we embark on Prospect 2, it is essential that we learn from the past and address the gaps identified during the implementation of Prospect 1. This includes engaging more closely with the government, particularly Refugees and Returning Service, and enhancing cooperation between RRS and Prospectus partners.
Ethiopia is the third largest refugee hosting country, with refugees mainly from South Sudan, Somalia, Eritrea and Sudan.
Coffee biodiversity researcher asserted that Ethiopia has the potential to earn up to 5.8 billion USD additional incomes from coffee resources per year. Vivan Nessa has the details.
Ethiopia is widely considered the birthplace of coffee, and its wealth has led it to be called the Bank of Coffee Biodiversity among African countries. However, despite suitable ecosystem for the sector, the country is not yet benefiting from the sector as expected. Coffee biodiversity researcher Taddasa Woldemariam told Ethiopian News Agency that Ethiopia's vast coffee biodiversity enables the country to improving the quality and productivity of coffee, noting that there are many genetic resources of forest coffee in coffee growing areas. Taddasa said that these resources are pivotal to preserve the coffee species. Taddasa stressed modernizing genetic laboratory machine is essential to improve the quality of coffee, apart from preventing coffee diseases and combating climate change. Taddasa said that to this end, putting in place proper mechanism for the protection of coffee's biodiversity is imperative. The researcher pointed out, through the activities carried out in collaboration with UNESCO, the Yayu, Kefa, Sheko and Messenger coffee biodiversity forest has been protected. Taddasa noted that coffee farmers need to be provided with technology and expertise to preserve the natural taste and quality of coffee. The researcher stressed as the country generates huge foreign currency from coffee export, research-driven activities must be strengthened to protect coffee biodiversity and ecosystem for sustainable use. The nation planned to earn 1.75 billion United States dollar by exporting 350,000 of coffee in this Ethiopia fiscal year.
The new Indian ambassador to Ethiopia, Anil Kumar Ray, has pledged to deepen cooperation with Ethiopia in many dimensions. groundwork. And tells us more.
The ambassador, who presented his credentials to President Sahle Zewde, told INA that he has received guidance from both Indian and Ethiopian leaderships to deepen the cooperation between the countries.
Both these countries are having a very long history of cooperating each other, and I think that this cooperation has many dimensions, and these dimensions can further be widened and scaled up.
The ambassador pointed out that there are many developmental priorities of India and Ethiopia which need to be addressed together, and the leaderships at the top are closely working on these issues. Kumar added, Ethiopia's recent membership in the BRICS will further help to work together to ensure Ethiopia's participation to maximize value and voices of developing countries within the group.
This year, Ethiopia has become a full member of BRICS, and we as a BRICS member, founding member of BRICS, we are working closely with Ethiopia to ensure that their participation in BRICS brings more value, and it brings a new dimension to the multilateral this multilateral forum, and become a voice, true voice for the developing countries.
Middle East, Asia and Pacific Countries Affairs Director General Gabayo Ganga said Ethiopia and India have a well-established relationship on both bilateral and multilateral political matters. He pointed out Ethiopia and India have a well-established relationship encompassing investment, trade, people-to-people exchanges, science and technology cooperation and collaboration on both bilateral and multilateral political matters. According to the Director General, India is among the top 5 investors in Ethiopia. Gabayo added, Ethiopia has been an African voice for so long, and the countries will strive to be leading voices for the South-South cooperation.
As we proceed to news beyond borders, a recent incident involving Somali pirates has underscored the renewed threat they pose to global shipping. In the Western Indian Ocean, a Bangladeshi-owned bulk carrier fell victim to pirates, signaling a resurgence of piracy in the region. This development adds to the challenges already faced by shipping companies, including drone and missile strikes by Yemen's Houthi militia. Since November, there have been over 20 attempted hijackings, leading to increased costs for armed security guards and insurance coverage. Somali pirates, seizing the opportunity presented by reduced naval operations, are once again active after nearly a decade of relative dormancy. While the current level of activity is not as severe as in the past, it is a cause for concern among regional officials and industry experts. The situation has led to higher shipping costs, with additional war risk premiums and increased prices for private armed guards. While the Indian Navy's intervention has resulted in the rescue of hostages, challenges persist in securing maritime routes off the coast of Somalia. Efforts to address this resurgence are underway, but the threat posed by Somali pirates remains a pressing issue for the shipping industry, as African News reported. A 62-year-old man is said to be recovering well and should leave hospital soon after getting a new kidney from a pig that was genetically modified to reduce the risk of the organ being rejected. U.S. surgeons say Rick Slayman is a real hero for trying the pioneering operation. The ultimate hope is to use animal organs for more transplants. Pig kidneys have been put into brain-dead people before as a test. The 4-hour surgery performed on 16 March. Massachusetts General Hospital said that it marks a major milestone in the quest to provide more readily available organs to patients. Suleiman had a human kidney transplant at the same hospital in 2018 after being on dialysis for 7 years before that because his own kidneys were not working properly. 5 years later, the transplant failed and he had to go back on dialysis in May 2023. One of the transplant team, Dr. Tatsuo Kawei, said that this transplant approach will offer a lifeline to millions of patients worldwide who are suffering from kidney failure, as BBC News reported it. That's all the news we have for today. I'm Gaila Damu. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.